Hello and hi, welcome to Yedidia Shofet and welcome to Parshat Matot and a little Halacha on the side. In this week's Parsha, we talk about a very beautiful concept that I'm going to get towards the end of this little video. However, I wanted to start off with a very interesting question I saw today that was written to Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu Alav Shalom, Chief Rabbi of Israel. This question is from a different tradition. Now let me just tell you just a little bit about traditions. Traditions can be of any sort. It can be from Ashkenaz, from Germany, from Europe, from Yemen, from Sephardi cultures. It could be from Russian cultures. It could be Georgian cultures. It could be African. It could be from all over the place. Now, the question over here that was asked was, we have a special tradition, Rabbi. If somebody in our family passes away, and we know that he passed away at a young age, and we wanted to make a kapara for him, we wanted to make an atonement for him, we used to have this tradition that used to do kapara on a chicken. Basically, they used to slaughter the chicken, like they do on Erev Yom Kippur, on the eve of Yom Kippur. And they used to take this chicken, and instead of giving it to a hungry family so they can eat, they would take this chicken, and they would bury the chicken, or bury its legs, right by the kever, right by the grave of the deceased person. By doing this, they believe that that the atonement will go directly to the deceased person. So they asked the Rabbi, is this okay? So the Rabbi goes into a long explanation about that. You have to realize kaparot. Do you even know what a kapara is? An atonement, especially when you wanted to take the life of a bird. You know what the whole idea is behind that? You would stimulate yourself to say that, wow, look, this bird, that's supposed to be me. This bird was supposed to be me. But they do kapara. They say certain pisukim, they go through certain verses and certain tefillot and certain prayers, say that could have been me, and to forgive what I've done, and to go into a long explanation about what's the whole point of doing this kaparot. And really, what happens at the end of the day after you do this kaparot, it's not just, you don't just count this chicken as, okay, I slaughtered it, I'm scot-free. No. When you do this kapara, it moves you in order to be a better person, in order to actually work on yourself, to find forgiveness, not just by kapara, but through what you're doing. That's why it's very hard to just base everything on a kapara. Now, the rabbi says that usually, most of these people, what happens with this chicken? They give it to a needy family. They don't just kill it and just throw it away. That's not the way it should be done. After they do slaughtering, they're supposed to give it to a family so they can actually get something out of it. If you're just going to slaughter and throw it away, it's chaval, it's a waste. That's why the rabbi says something very beautiful. He says, if you ever have a chance to do kaparot, meaning to do atonements, the best way you can do it is through money. When you take money, the same value as a chicken, you put it over your head and you say certain tefillot, you're not atoned immediately. No. It's not a magic potion. Oh, Rabbi, I'm done. I throw the money away, I'm scot-free. No. The money itself, again, it's in order to make you remember, to know what you're doing, to understand that through this money and through many things that are done, that are explained in the tefillot, it can get you to become a more respectable person in your religion. Now, the Rabbi says, and this whole idea of burying it in the cemetery, you gotta be kidding me. This used to be the work of pagans. I mean, it's nothing to do with Judaism. As many traditions as you see in Judaism, from all over all these countries, they were in the same country as many other cults, and they would pick up things. And because of that, they would do things that say, oh, you know what, this is my Jewish heritage. And that has absolutely nothing to do with it. That's why it's very important, in order to learn Torah, to learn the roots, to realize what we're doing, where it's coming from. And B'ezrat Hashem, if we ever do need to do kaparot, if we ever do need to do these atonements, these kapara, like we do for Yom Kippur, you take money for 2-3 meals of food. You give it to ani, you give it to someone who's poor. So you give it to Tomchei Shabbat, you give it to yeshiva, you give it to people who can use the money, and you work on yourself through there. Now, you don't just give $1, $2. You give money which you can actually feel the difference when you give the money. That look, I'm giving a piece of my time away when you give that money. But Hashem, that should be the case in order for us to atone ourselves to become a better and more exemplary person in Judaism. So now, I wanted to just tell you one thing on the Parsha. There's a word, it's called lo yachel devaro. What's lo yachel devaro? You shouldn't go back on your word. So, That's a beautiful thing, the Torah says. But the problem is, what do you mean, lo yachal devaro, don't go back on your word? Why should it make a difference to me? You know how many people lie? How many people cheat? How many people tell me, yeah, of course I'm going to buy it, I'm going to buy it. The next day, you don't hear from them. They don't even call you. You call them, okay, I want to come to this meeting. I'll be there at 6 o'clock. They don't ever show up. Or they go on and on with the same story again and again. They talk and talk and talk. It's very cheap. Nothing happens. So why should I suffer? Why should I suffer like everyone else? Why do I have to be the only honest one out of everyone else? It doesn't make sense. So there's a beautiful story between Rabbi Yehuda and Rav Abba. Rav Abba was a person who sold a lot of silk. And one day he goes to Rabbi Yehuda, and Rabbi Yehuda wanted to buy some silk from Rav Abba. And this robe that was made out of silk was very expensive. I think it was $100 for this robe. And Rabbi Yehuda tells him, listen, I will negotiate, whatever it is, and they finally got the price down to $80. So this Rav Abba says, you know what? If this is the price, I agree with that. He says, I agree with it too. But at the end of the day, he's like, you know what? I can't purchase it. I don't feel comfortable getting it. Time goes on, and Rav Abba, he comes in the same place again where Rabbi Yehuda is. He says, Rabbi Yehuda, you know, I still have that robe. Do you want to take it? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, listen, $80, we're good to go. But Rabbi Yehuda tells him, what are you talking about? Silk went up so much in price. What do you keep it $80 for? He says, listen, when we agreed on it, we agreed on it. That was the agreement. I don't want to take any more money from that because that's what I was willing to take from you. And I understand that you may feel sad about thinking that you're tricking me, but you're not. Because I know your word is much more than money to my well-being and to my business life than anything else. So he tells him, wow, how can you be so honest? How can you be someone of such a great character? And he tells him, Bezrat Hashem, the same honesty that you showed today, like Shemuel HaNavi, like the prophet Samuel, may your kid be like Shemuel HaNavi. And because of that, his son was actually named Shemuel of the Gemara. Basically, when you look in the Gemara and you look for the word Shemuel, you'll see he's all over the Gemara. Almost every page, he's all over the place. And he gives great opinions, great insights, all because of the fact that he opened up his mouth. He merited such a beautiful gift. We have to realize that's our gift too. When the Chumash, when the Torah says, Lo yachal devaro, don't go back on your word. It's telling you something very beautiful. Don't go back on yourself. Be honest. If you're honest, you have no idea what type of bracha you're going to get through it. What do I mean? I mean like this. You can make thousands of dollars by not being honest. Very simple. Very simple. But that money that's there, how much of a bracha does it have? How much of a blessing does it have? You get $10,000 that, wow, I just made 10 grand, a simple little deception here and there, and I made 10 grand. But at the end of the day, what happens? Unfortunately, there was a doctor bill for $9,500. What happens? You lose $9,500. But you sometimes get you work hard, you're honest and everything, you made $5,000. Not $10,000, you made $5,000. And what happens at the end of the day? The $5,000, there's no doctor bill, there's no traffic ticket, there's no leak, there's no policy to be paid for. All these problems, they're not there. There's bracha in your money. The bracha comes with you. The merit comes with you. Your mouth is the source of blessing. The way how you use your mouth, that's how the blessing's going to come out. You use it correctly, that everything comes out of your mouth correctly, that you don't just push everything on the side and say, you know what, I'll do this, do that, tell everyone a different story and accomplish nothing, cause agony and pain to everyone. What happens over there? The same pain comes back to you in a different form. B'ezrat Hashem, God willing, may we see what type of power we have in our mouth, what type of ability we have in our mouth to make such amazing merits happen in our life, happen in our family's life. I wish you a beautiful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.